It's so hot outside that it hurts your face as soon as you open the door, so I guess that means that it's officially summer. Let's celebrate here in the air conditioning by checking out another Top 10 Comics on a $50 budget. Kicking off our summer 2022 Top 10 Comics on a $50 budget list is the debut issue of everyone's favorite pocket-sized adventurer, Mighty Max, in Adventures of Mighty Max number 0. This issue was released in March of 1993 and is another example of a 90s promotional comic being released alongside a video game. The Adventures of Mighty Max video game was released on the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo here in the US, and unfortunately, this promo issue number 0 would be the only Mighty Max comic we would see domestically, despite the video game, cartoon series, and toy line which was developed following the success of Polly Pocket over in the girls' toy aisle. Across the pond, the UK would get a 10-issue Adventures of Mighty Max series released in 1994 and 1995. Adventures of Mighty Max 0 is a book that you're likely going to have to dig long and hard for, but if you are a fan of the Mighty Max playsets back in the early 90s, I suspect the $40 a high-grade copy of this book will cost you would be well worth it. The Disney Plus Miss Marvel show has been released, so it seemed like an opportune time to include a book featuring Kamala Khan. Getting the nod in the number 9 spot is Miss Marvel number 5 from the 2014 Miss Marvel series. With a cover date of August 2014, this issue jumped up in value prior to the release of the show when one of the final promos for the show prominently featured a scene which was swiped directly from this cover. In addition to being a great display piece with that soon-to-be iconic cover from artist Jamie McKelvey, Ms. Marvel 5 also includes the origin of Kamala Khan's Ms. Marvel costume and a cameo appearance of the Inventor. Written by G. Willow Wilson with interior art from Adrian Alfona, this issue is currently running right around $50 for a high-grade raw copy. But if you like to chase collectible second prints, you're in luck, as there is a second print of Ms. Marvel 5 that you can identify by the blue background on the cover's footer. The second print will cost you a bit more than the first print, but it could be something fun to keep an eye out for. I want to take a quick break from the top 10 and let you know about a great new benefit that's available to you. I just teamed up with BCW Supplies, and I'm happy to offer you a discount code good for 10% off your next purchase using code Como Comics. My personal recommendation is the magazine-sized store folio. It's my go-to storage solution anytime I head out to a comic shop or convention, so check that out. In a time where everything seems to be getting more expensive out there, I'm excited to be able to help you save on your next order. So check out the link in the description below to shop BCW Supplies. In life, there are some great pairings: spaghetti and meatballs, peas and carrots, beer and pizza. Comics are kind of the same way, and in the number 8 spot, we're celebrating the first team up of one of those pairings. Coming in at number 8 is Batman Family number 17. The first team up of Catwoman and Poison Ivy. 2/3 of the popular Gotham sirens, Catwoman and Poison Ivy, predate their third member, Harley Quinn, by decades. In fact, the pair first teamed up more than 15 years before Harley Quinn made her debut in Batman Adventures 12. Published in April and May 1978, Batman Family 17 features a cover from the talented Michael Kaluta, while the Batgirl story where the sirens team up was written by Bob Rozakis and was drawn by pre-code horror great and Silver Age Marvel bullpen alum Don Heck. Another book coming in well within our $50 budget, this underappreciated first team-up issue will only set you back $40. And who knows, we may see a Gotham City Sirens movie one day. For our number 7 book, we've dug up the first appearance of Indiana Jones in a comic book, Marvel Super Special number 18. Released in the summer of 1981, Marvel Super Special 18 is the comic book adaptation of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Similar to how Super Special 16 was the comic adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back and was later reprinted in the main Star Wars title beginning with issue 39, Super Special 18 would be reprinted in the Raiders of the Lost Ark miniseries. Marvel threw a powerhouse team at this one. The cover was drawn by Howard Chaykin. The story was scripted by Walt Simonson, and the interior art featured John Buscema pencils and Klaus Janson inks. With Indiana Jones 5 set to premiere in June 2023, this will be the first time the modern comic market has seen a new indie movie hit theaters. If the market takes note, this could see some increase in value, but regardless, at $45 for a high-grade raw copy, this one packs a lot of bang for your buck. Netflix just dropped a trailer for the upcoming Sandman series, and while I'm reserving judgment until I'm able to watch the show, my hope is that the show will bring attention to this comic series. So with that in mind, it only seemed right to include another Sandman book. Our number 6 book is Sandman number 22. Published in January 1991, Sandman 22 is the beginning of the excellent Seasons of Mist story arc, but is noteworthy for a few other reasons as well, with 2 notable first appearances. Making their debuts in this issue are Mazikeen, one of Lucifer's most loyal demons, and Daniel, who would eventually assume the role of Dream at the end of the series. Mrs. Como has been binge watching Lucifer for a while now, and I have to admit that I've kind of grown fond of that show's version of Mazikeen, so this issue just kind of seemed like a timely selection. Currently selling for $40 on average, it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts to the show and how that impacts prices for Sandman issues. All the way back in my very first Top 10 Comics list, I picked the first appearance of the character featured in our number 5 book, not just for the list, but the cover image was even used as the thumbnail for that OG Top 10 list. That character was the White Tiger, and the book was Deadly Hands of Kung Fu 19, which at the time was selling for only $100. Coming in at number 5 is the White Tiger's first standard comic book appearance in Spectacular Spider-Man number 9. Published in August 1977, Spectacular Spider-Man 9 grabs your attention straight away with a fantastic George Perez cover. The White Tiger really stands out against the cover's red background, but inside the cover you will find a Bill Mantlo story, Sal Buscema art breakdowns, and Mike Esposito handled the finishes and inks. White Tiger is one of the great supporting characters from the Kung Fu wing of Marvel, and there seems to be a general consensus that it's not if the character will pop up in the MCU at some point, but more when. Currently bringing an average of $45 for high-grade raw copies, this book may or may not catch a bounce when White Tiger makes it to the MCU, but it will always look damn fine on your wall or in one of your short boxes. One of the books that has really exploded in value over the course of the last couple years is Albedo number 2, the first appearance of everyone's favorite katana-wielding rabbit, Usagi Yojimbo. Well, the overwhelming majority of us can't afford the thousands and thousands of dollars a copy of that book would cost, but our number 4 book, Usagi Yojimbo Summer Special number 1, is here to help. Reprinted here for the first time is the first Usagi story from Albedo number 2. Usagi Yojimbo Summer Special number 1 includes 3 stories, all of which are classic early tales of Usagi. As per usual, Stan Sakai provides both the script and artwork for these stories, as well as the wraparound cover that graces this issue. Published in October 1986, this $50 option is a fantastic way for a collector to put those earliest Usagi Yojimbo stories in their collection without breaking the bank. Looking towards the horizon of Disney Plus, way out there is Armor Wars. We don't know much about the show at this point, but one thing I do know is that if the Punisher shows up rocking the War Machine armor, Punisher fans are going to lose their minds. So with that in mind, our number 3 book is Punisher 218, the first cover and cameo appearance of the Punisher War Machine armor. Cover dated for January 2018, the Clayton Crane cover really drives the appeal of this issue. The following issue would contain the first full appearance of Marvel's most recognizable anti-hero, but as of the recording of this video, the market gives a slight edge in value to Punisher 218 at $50, while the first full appearance in issue 219 comes in at $45. If you happen across the run of this series, also keep an eye out for Punisher 224. This cover's primed to become a modern classic, as Clayton Crane absolutely nails it once again. It's time to get to the choppa, because our number 2 book is none other than Predator number 1. Published by Dark Horse Comics in June 1989, Predator #1 is the Predator's first comic book appearance. One of the great movie monsters of the 1980s, the Predator has been featured in multiple films and has even gone rounds on the silver screen with the beasts from LV-426, the aliens, or xenomorphs if we want to get technical. The Predator's latest film is a Hulu release that will come out in August. Handling the creative duties for this issue were Chris Warner, who did the cover and interior art, Mark Verheiden on the script, and Sam De La Rosa of Venom Lethal Protector fame. He handled the interior inks. If you're in a hurry on this book, we're going to have to slightly stretch our budget a little bit beyond $50, as it has several sales in the $60 range recently. But if you're patient, there have also been a lot of sales right around that $50 mark. May the odds be ever in your favor. Also, be sure to check the printing on this one, as there is a second printing out there as well. Topping the summer 2022 top 10 comics on a $50 budget list is a great Todd McFarlane cover from July 1988, Incredible Hulk 345. Everybody wants Hulk 340, everybody talks about Hulk 340, but Incredible Hulk 340 isn't the only McFarlane cover from this run that's worth talking about. Hulk 345's cover utilizes one of the great artistic tricks that came to comics in the later part of the 1960s and was seen throughout the 1970s and 80s as well: interactive titles or trade dress. Here, McFarlane shows the Grey Goliath smashing his way through the blocky Incredible Hulk trade dress, which had been utilized on the title since the aforementioned Incredible Hulk 340. The creative team was comprised of McFarlane, who handled the cover and interior art, and legendary Hulk writer Peter David on the story. If Hulk 340 is outside of your budget, then Incredible Hulk 345 is the book to turn to in order to get your McFarlane Hulk fix. Currently selling right in the neighborhood of $50 for a high-grade raw copy, this issue is one every McFarlane or Hulk fan should have on their list. If you want to keep up with Como Comics, subscribe to the channel and follow us on Instagram for even more comic book content, and be sure to give me a follow over on Whatnot as well. We're going to keep firing up some live sales here over the course of the summer. If you enjoyed this video, check out this other recent top 10 comics list up here, or swing by the top 10 comics playlist that has more than 40 videos for you to dive into. Happy hunting out there, and don't forget to collect responsibly. I'll see you in the next one.